Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Check 1, 2.
Ooh, ooh.
Can you
Fine
hear
room you
me?
got there. Yep, got you.
Um, did I tell you I was coming to this film festival? Or not
I
film,
didn't,
a music festival.
oh, yes, you did. Raga.
Yeah, exactly. It's right on the sand, and my hotel room is right above all of it.
How is Virginia Beach compared to Florida?
So I think if we can, we should do our bonus show on Monday after I'm done with the festival and Virginia Beach,
Fantastic.
because I am formulating a full write-up that similar to stuff you've done on Beach Grid about traveling across the country and looking for Elo's mythical ultimate surf fan. This is quite the cultural experience, and I don't feel right discussing it on the main feed, but maybe on the Patreon feed.
That's a great plug for the Patreon.
It really is. Sorry, getting a bunch of text messages. So yeah, listeners, go to Patreon right now. Go to Patreon, get the extra fine grit. I mean, last week we did tin foiling about we basically uncovered how Kelly Slater is in his ultimate mind game move ever is conditioning the second generation world champ through his son Tao to take out Darwin Florence and uh whatever Italo has named his kid. What was it?
Martin.
Martin
It might be
for
Martine. I don't
Martin.
know. Yeah, in the Portuguese dialect, I'm assuming it's Martine.
So what is the tinfoiling theory?
For Kelly, I mean, that
You explain it. You explain it.
Kelly's gonna be all comers coming in here, right? Like Kelly Slater, we all know, cannot but hold spotlight. And so other surfers having kids, Kelly thinking, I need a kid, and I need a kid to both A, protect my 11 world titles, and B, just be the best.
It's not a coincidence that Kalani's probably been asking for a kid for a decade. And as soon as Kelly starts losing heats to this new crop of surfers, or losing, I mean, hasn't won a contest, hasn't won a world title in 10 years, all this stuff. And he
He's
sees
over.
this, yeah, he sees this new crop taking off. He formulates a plan and says, hey, Kalani, I have a second thought about having a kid. Let's do it at the age of 50 something. And then he's conditioning that kid to now take out Darwin Florence, Felipe's kids, Jack Robinson's kid, Italo's kid. They're all going down. It's all going to be in 15 to 20 years from now. The jerseys are going to say the same names on the back. It'll just be the second generation.
I also feel that Slater, of course, right? I think he went in on Jackson Dorian early. He thought Jackson Dorian's going to be my kid, but then he realized, wait a second, Jackson Dorian is actually not my kid. I'm the godfather. I'm the dude doing it, but it's still Shane's kid. And so Shane is going to get all of the flowers for this. I'll get like petals from those flowers, not the actual flowers. And thus I've just got to do it. I'm a historically and notably and recognizably bad father. I already had a child who I did a bad job with. She has rejected me, but I got to do it again purely to beat the crop.
So that's the kind of stuff you're missing over on the bonus show on Patreon. Get over there now and catch up. Probably like 15 episodes in. And then, yeah, Monday, I'm going to deliver a full report on this whole music festival slash Virginia Beach slash reggae conversation.
Are you enjoying the raga?
It hasn't started yet. Tomorrow, it's Saturday and Sunday. Um,
Is
you,
Ziggy Marley playing?
I don't think Ziggy Marley's on the bill, but the original Wailers are.
Yeah, all of it is crap. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still waiting for the like I can't wait to spar on how bad reggae is. But I went to college with a dude named Ziggy Funk. That was literally his name, where it almost turned me. That's such a good name that I thought, okay, reggae might be okay.
Was he into reggae?
Uh, if your name is Ziggy Funk, you kind of better be.
Well, no, his parents were clearly into reggae,
Yeah, I don't know.
but it could have repulsed him.
Ziggy Funk played soccer. He was like a handsome dude. Haven't kept up. Didn't really know Ziggy Funk, but
There's only one on the planet, so we could probably
yeah,
find him on the internet pretty quick.
Ziggy Funk.
Uh, I will report on all of this. There is a couple of things I need to follow up with you about your reggae debate from listeners. We'll do that later in the show. Music festivals alone are worthy of a discussion. And then, yeah, to answer your Virginia Beach question, it is great people watching.
I mean, so does it feel like Myrtle Beach?
It's, Myrtle and Jacksonville and Virginia Beach all have something in common, but they're each different.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to define. And that's why I need a weekend to really let it saturate. And then I'll come back at you with some fully formed thoughts. But I'll start, I guess this isn't the start any longer, but what I should have started by saying is the wonderful people that do exist here. Um, in preparation for coming, I have a few friends here. A number of other people reached out, and they're the best. Like this guy Nick Halloran. I came and visited him. I want to say it was 2017 or 2018. He has a business called MAR, which is Make and Ride. So he shapes surfboards and then he rents out a shaping bay and he'll teach people how to shape surfboards. You can go do a shaping lesson basically.
Ooh.
And
How many people you reckon actually shape backyard boards themselves?
so back then, it was not a lot. It was, I don't know how many, but it wasn't a ton. But now I mean, it's tripled in size. Like the square footage is tripled in size. The offerings of what they do has tripled in size. It's a full surfboard factory now with like multiple people running around. Um,
But like full people who have never shaped a surfboard running around in the factory, like trying to
no,
clean or
maybe that part of the business hasn't grown. Maybe it's the same number of people who are just want to shape a board for the first time. But he's done such a good job at that that it's, built the business in other ways. Used board sales, ding repair, their own label has grown a lot. They now have a rental fleet. So you could pay like a monthly membership and then you get access to the surfboards and you can go borrow them for 1 day, 10 days, whatever you want. So I went and borrowed a log from them because the waves are 1 foot. Um, but it's like Nick is killer. He's built a killer business, salt of the earth, knows the business. It's just like great. Jason Bort, who wrote Kelly Slater's autobiography or biography, I should say, Pipe
which
Dreams.
one? Oh, Pipe Dreams.
Pipe Dreams. Jason wrote that one with Kelly. He's Virginia Beach OG, and he's actually running the surf program at the new wave pool that they're building here. So I'm gonna go tomorrow and check that all out. I don't think I'm gonna get to surf, or they haven't invited me to surf, and I don't know if anybody's actually surfing it, but it's full of water and they are running waves in it now. So I'll get to see that. I can report on that too.
How are you not going to surf if it's full of water and they're running waves?
You have to get invited. They didn't invite me to surf.
I feel we can make this happen, David Lee Scales.
If I show up and they say, "Do you want to surf?" The answer is yes, but I'm not gonna be like asking for it.
Are you going to bring a board?
I only have
Your
that
log?
log.
Are you going to
I only
bring your new log that you're riding?
So WRV is building all the boards for the facility that you can rent. So I borrow one of their boards. Um, Following up with you though, what happened with your queer vans?
I've got them, David Lee Scales. I meant to have them again. Vans being a failed company, I was really excited to get my queer vans. I was really happy to wear them on our East Coast podcast tour. They didn't come in time, but they did come. And so I opened the box and thought, should I send these back or not? And I looked at them and thought, absolutely, I'm not sending these back. So I quickly took out my black Sharpie and crossed out because it says all bodies, all boards, right? On the white walls of these vans. And I thought, all bodies, absolutely. Anyone should be able to surf, no matter size, color, shape, sexuality, anything. all boards. I can't get behind that message. I don't know why stinking queer surf threw in a ridiculous, like, no, not all boards. All boards are not allowed. All bodies, yes. All boards, no. So I had to cross out all boards.
Which boards are not allowed?
So I'm still gonna say, and I've been hit up in the DMs that wave storms are right on this certain day, and no, a wave storm is never right on any day, right? I suppose maybe a wave storm is right. I take that back. If you are surfing around infants splashing in the shore break and you need to not kill them. Otherwise, no wave storms, no Ben Gravy soft tops. I cannot abide the pineapple. No. I'm going to say, to be frank, we've lived through the soft top era now, right? I feel
Yeah.
this thing has come and gone. No soft tops. Soft tops should not be served. If you want to ride a soft top, get on a stinking boogie board. Like a boogie board is the original soft top. Just boogie. If you're wanting to surf, you surf a board. You don't surf a soft top. So I'm going to say all soft tops, mostly Ben Gravy soft tops, done. Sups. No subs in the lineup. I'm sorry. Do not like subs. Gone. Out. Foils in a lineup. If you're out foiling like John Pizell on weirdo windswell, something rather else's that you cannot ride otherwise, sure. But in the lineup, no foils. Uh, to be frank, I'm even going to say mostly no longboards. All kinds of boards that are exempted. And so I had to cross it right out.
So I'm wondering, so Kevin from Ventura left us a voicemail that I'm not going to play, but it was basically something to the effect of when you're in mixed company and somebody says they reference a friend of theirs who is a hardcore surfer, quote unquote, or a really good surfer, quote unquote. It's almost a guarantee that that person is just a recreational surfer. And it's a certainty that the person who said it has no idea about anything at all. So I'm wondering if Queer Surf just identified themselves as kooks by even stating that fact, by even stating all boards.
I mean, it was such an unnecessary cell phone, right? Because boards are not people. Again, love people, really truly hate certain boards. And I think all of us do. Rightly so. These boards don't have rights. These boards are inanimate objects and do not belong anywhere. And the fact that real or queer surf, uh, like made all bodies same as all boards? Absolutely not. Queer surf, you bought your shoe. I hope that you got a percentage from my purchase, bought it full price. Uh, but no, not all boards. All bodies,
And
yes.
and paid for expedited guaranteed shipping to arrive before we left on our road trip, and it did not arrive on time.
Did not arrive on time.
We
A
need a
real
refund
shame.
refund for that shipping.
Nope.
I
I'm
would
wearing them.
I would bet you every shaper on the planet has surfboards that they've shaped that they admit are dogs and that
Yeah.
they actually discount and hate. So
Yes.
they would not abide by Queer Surf's philosophy.
No, boards, it's not all boards. Boards can be hateable. And we need something to hate. We need something to hate. And boards are a great thing to hate. Certain boards.
All right, Queer Surf, get your act
Yeah.
together. Come on.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
How are the shoes otherwise?
Great. I've gotten multiple compliments already. They're even more wildly pink than I thought they would be. And the triangle motif really sticks out,
All
which
right.
I'm super proud about all that. I did my work. I crossed out all boards, so I'm good.
Good work. Um, Speaking of live shows, our live shows are now on the podcast feed. If anybody wants to hear our night in Charleston, go grab it, or our night in Jacksonville, it is available.
Do you know what I miss most about our tour, David Lee Scales?
Seeing the people face to face.
Even more than that, I miss the Rivian. I know you didn't enjoy charging. I miss, I mean, A, Rivians are spaceships. Like getting into a spaceship and then coming home and getting into a gas powered car, I felt, what is this? One of my number one beefs we've talked a lot about driving here. Yeah. We've talked about
Yes.
left lane hoggers. We've talked about crappy mergers. We've talked all kinds about charging. One of our cars, one of my biggest beefs is when the light turns red and somebody is sleeping, right? You see the light or light turns green and somebody's sleeping. And you're just like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. And then they finally ease in. The EV, I would go in that Rivian 0 miles an hour to 50 in uh two, sorry, 2 seconds. Like the rocket ship nature of that, and then
Yeah.
also the necessary charge of everything slows down. You get to chill out. You get to charge your vehicle and have a drink. I miss that car so like anyone and everyone. Very thankful. Rivian was a sponsor of the Florida Surf Film Festival. Gifted David Lee and I a car for that run, and I miss it.
Amazon has that fleet of Rivian vans.
Oh, I didn't know they were Rivian.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got it was like a
even
big
better.
it was a big deal like for their stock price and everything like a year and a half, 2 years ago. But I could see you acquiring one of those Rivian vans and bringing it to weekend vans and having them outfit it and then you living in that van for the rest of your life.
I would be sated and satisfied at that point. I came
It
home and thought, I am a dinosaur. I need to step into the future. And this
it
is it.
it is like a spaceship and you did I feel like achieved a new level of being in that van in that car. And yeah, I could see you living your best life, an enlightened life in the van.
Coming, like using the Rivian and then coming home and leaving the Rivian, I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I came home.
Tough times back on planet
Hard,
Earth.
hard times. I'm not in the future anymore. I'm in the gas guzzling present.
Yep, in a fossil fuel present. Well, let's move on into surf news and the segment that gets shorter and shorter each week. Quote, Sawyer Lindblad and Ethan Ewing's soft launch relationship becoming surfing's newest power couple, exclamation point.
How happy were you for this, David Lee Scales? I didn't see this coming. I mean, in the day and age, and let's say we are in the day and age of apparently professional surfers, and not just professional surfers. I'm going to say top five, potential top five going to finals day professional surfers dating 18-year-olds. Uh, this one, unlike our dear Griffin Colapinto and his I mean, can we take a moment to congratulate Griffin Colapinto's girlfriend from graduating high school?
Congratulations. Prom looked amazing.
I mean, a big time in your life. Enjoy that queen. But uh Ethan and Sawyer, I thought, you go, girls.
So a couple of thoughts. To answer your question, yes, I love this current era where we just analyze the and gossip about the relationships of these people because it's pretty silly. And we get to see too much on social media. That's the problem. It's forced in our face. You
I
scroll the
wouldn't have
feed and yeah,
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known that Ethan Ewing and Sawyer Lindblad were dating
but
had
it's
I not been DM'd it 15 times on Instagram. Because
but it's
I don't follow either of them.
so I do follow Ethan. To be honest, Sawyer Lindblad, the way that I operate nowadays, you have to get forced into my awareness 152 times before I'm going to click follow because I've been burned in the past. Too many pro surfers come up the ranks. I get all excited, Carlos Munoz. I get all excited, Matt Banting, and I start rooting, and then they lose, and then I'm like, there's no more stickers on their boards. They fade away, and I'm like, why am I following 22 people who are just working a menial job in Manly? So, and then I have to unfollow. So now you have to force your way into my awareness. And Sawyer Lindblad hasn't earned her way yet. So I feel like through association with Ethan Ewing, top fiver, been around for a long time. Now she's kind of leapfrogged into my awareness just through that. But I really didn't know what she looked like. I honestly, if she was in front of me, I would not have known what she looked like. Um,
I still
Knew
don't
she
know,
was,
to be honest.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really either. But I do think not that this was her intention, but I think this was an effective social climb. Like she probably boosted her followers and all that sort of stuff. Or who knows, maybe she had more followers than he did.
But also, let's be quite frank too. The uh trepidation, we'll call it, around Griffin and his high school girlfriend, which she is in high school. Ethan Ewing is also 26. Sawyer, I think, is 19, right? Uh, but, and just so listeners remember, the issue was high school. Like Sawyer Lindblad, I don't know anything about her, but I'm assuming she's been traveling the world for the last X amount of years. Was rookie of the year last year on tour. So she is like, that's a great pairing, right? I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of spring, autumn, but they both have the same experience.
Here's the problem. You're right. The high school metric is a very important metric that you have to live by. But the golden rule is half your age plus 7.
They work. It's
No, they
exactly
don't.
7 years. He's 26, she's 19. It's exactly 7 year difference. I did the math. So half
No, no,
26
no.
is
Listen.
13 plus
Yes,
7 is
20.
oh,
So she falls a year short of 20.
I didn't my math is that bad that I thought half of 26 was
You
yeah.
just were thinking 7 was the magic number. It's half your
Yeah.
age plus 7. So
Yeah.
she needs to be 20 in order to fit the golden rule, and she doesn't. So they're really playing with fire here.
A little suspect, but also like maybe the fact that they have both the same career, same profession, and that she's seen the world. And Ethan does seem like he's a sort of innocent boy, right? He seems like a nice guy. And so he's maybe a young 26.
Yeah, I think the argument could be made for that. I don't know him personally, so I wouldn't make that argument, but I kind of get that. Um, this doesn't feel nearly as creepy for me for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
This feels fine. Like you guys are it's like a summer camp romance, right?
Yeah.
Like you are traveling the world together. I mean, imagine they're both in, I mean, presumably or for sure, both in Brazil right now. They have each other. You go, girls.
Yeah, totally agree. Um, there's also something just scintillating, I guess, about two coworkers getting together.
Yeah.
Like
So it's a workspace romance.
that's part of it for me. You know, it's like if Caio Abelli I don't know when he posted last year about the girl that he's dating, it's some random Brazilian model, and I'm like, all right, whatever, good for you, I guess. But when it's somebody that's when it was Alessa Quizon that was on tour with him, then it was kind of like, ooh, good on you. I mean, proximity infatuation, you know?
I mean, look, what has been one of the most popular television shows over the last decade? The Office, right? Everybody lapped The Office. And it was Jim and Pam's workplace romance. So I think that probably, if they're smart, both Ethan and Sawyer, they WSL should do a Office version. Like, no, the same music, everything. Ethan falling in love with like Sawyer.
At least do a cut, like do an edit for Instagram that is with that music that is a spoof on.
Just that. That's all we need.
Just
But yeah, the workplace romance that the problem is that they soft launched their relationship too quick. Nobody, or I didn't, I mean, again, I don't follow either of them, but had zero idea about any of this. And then all of a sudden it's boom. Ethan Ewing, heart emoji, Sawyer Lindblad. And like,
how,
how do you feel about them sharing that story? Like
that's the way you do it when you're a power couple.
one of them did it, the other one reposted. I'm assuming Sawyer did it first because it's heart emoji, Ethan Ewing. And so, but then he looked at that and said, share that.
Yeah. How do you know it was a soft launch too soon? Maybe they've been dating for a year.
I have
Hey,
no,
that's a theory. Maybe they were dating when she was in high school and they knew not to launch it then.
it still doesn't matter because she was never in high school because she is a professional surfer, right? Like so if Ethan Ewing, let's look at it this way. If Ethan Ewing is saying rookie of the year, I'm going for the top, right? I'm going a number one. I'm getting the cream of this crop. It was Caitlin Simmers wasn't the rookie of the year. Uh, Molly Picklum wasn't the rookie of the year. Sawyer Lindblad, rookie of the year last year. Ethan Ewing thinking, and maybe this is to round this circle. This is what Kelly should worry about most. This is what young Tao, and do we know if it's Tao or Dow yet?
Great question. Don't
I
know.
mean, I'm going to say Dow. I'm going to call him Dow. If you name your
Yeah.
kid Tao, I'm calling him Dow. So Kelly is going to be, if this relationship comes to beautiful fruition of marriage and babies, how do you beat Ethan Ewing and Sawyer Lindblad's seed? This is where this is a whole world that Kelly he screwed up. Kelly will should quickly pivot to Molly Picklum.
He's got his work cut out for him. He's going to try to keep up with these kids, which has always been the problem for Kelly, trying to
It's
keep up with these kids. It's tough.
I mean it's Kelly's cross to bear.
It really is. Well, moving on. World record breaking surfer Dylan Graves stuns world with video of 4 mile long wave in Africa. Did you watch any of the footage?
I didn't, but I immediately thought about you when I saw this footage. You are going to Chicama to ride a 4 mile long left. Do you
That's
feel your
true.
legs? Do you feel your legs are up to it?
The good news is it's a soft left that you can rest on. You could literally like take a break. You could probably sit on your board and lay down if you wanted to, and then get back up a mile later. So I'm not stressing about it, but very different than what Dylan's doing. And it reminded me of last weekend in the Florida Surf Film Festival. One of the early films that screened was Michael Dunphy's latest. Um, Obviously, he's become a pilot. So he brought Jimmy Kane to film, and then I think a couple other buddies, and they took a plane down to the Caribbean and they caught this long sand bottom right point barreling wave. Kind of doubles up, goes below sea level, crazy wave. Reminds me of what Dylan's riding. But the difference with those waves is how much energy and focus it takes for such a long period of time. And I was just blown away at the skill set of those guys. Like make paddling and finding a wave that you can paddle into is already crazy difficult. Navigating the lineup, staying in position, paddling into the wave. The drop itself, insane. Then once you kind of free fall drop, jumping into till you find a line, like dropping in free fall, you have no momentum. You're dead flat. Those guys somehow generating momentum to get back into the face and then driving and weaving the entire time in the barrel as steps are falling out underneath you. It is insanely impressive.
Don't know how they do it. And kudos to I'll go watch Dylan Graves thing. I yeah, been lazy there. Gonna watch it. Happy to watch it. Also, though, Michael Dunphy getting his pilot license, flying and finding new waves. I mean, is there anything that man can't do? Except there's one thing, apparently, that we heard at the Florida Surf Film Festival that he can't do.
Go ahead, spill the beans.
So we heard, both David Lee and I, somebody came up to us, that person will remain anonymous, and said he shook hands with Michael Dunphy, and Michael Dunphy offered him the limp fish. Is there anything worse than the limp fish handshake?
Literally nothing on the planet.
I mean, there's barely, literally, probably nothing. Like, imagine this guy. Now he's a pilot. He has made a career out of surfing, which is difficult in and of itself. He is finding new waves. He has won, I think, multiple whatever NSSA championships or whatever he's won. He's successful. And he offers you like a dead hand. How bad is that?
Well, it makes me wonder what went wrong. Like, how did he not learn this? Like, I don't remember who taught me. I would like to think it was my dad. My dad taught me all the important things in life, but I don't remember him teaching me that. I just somehow learned along the way a firm handshake, looking people in the eyes when you shake their hands is very, very important.
I would like to blame COVID, that Michael Dunphy during the COVID years was young enough where it was kind of waves and then fist bumps where he just never learned to shake a hand, but he's too old for that. Somehow he came out. He has a limp fish handshake.
You know who told me this recently? I think it was Garrett McNamara's wife, Nicole, said when she first met Garrett, he shook her hand with the dead limp fish. And she
Oh,
and she was like, "What?" Like, ugh,
yes.
gross, like major ick. I'm not interested. And she knew he was like a big wave surfer and everything, and she could not believe that he did that, and she was like grossed out.
I mean, it's a proper tools to live by. Brought to you by, do we have a tools to live by on this episode?
I don't think we do. Now we
Okay.
do.
Brought to you by VAER watches. Fine watch. Gave some away on the East Coast tour. Uh, People were so excited to get their VAER watch on the East Coast tour, TBH, as they should have been. Like,
Because they heard about it and they fantasized about it.
and it lives up to billing. It's not like a limp fish. It is a proper timepiece. But in any case, stinking like, and here's the thing. You do not assert dominance in the handshake. The handshake is not about that. The handshake is not about I'm a tougher guy than you, so I'm going to squeeze harder. The purpose of the handshake, it's like a hug of hands, right? It's like I see you. I appreciate that you're in front of me right now. And so it's just that, right? And so don't over squeeze. Don't, it's not the moment for I'm the man here. It's not alpha moment. It's also if you throw up the limp fish or if that's all you got, sort it out. Just give us the hand hug.
I feel bad even put Dunphy on the spot for this, but you know what? It needs to be corrected. It will
He got
serve him
put
well to correct it.
he got put on the spot. I didn't want to put him on the spot. This was a honest to goodness assessment of his handshake. If somebody
So
told me I had a limp fish, I would quickly sort it out. And so I hope that he hears this. Dunphy, talking to you right now. I hope that you hear this and that you correct your behavior because a good handshake is essential.
I want to believe that it was just a one-off, but there's no such thing as a one-off.
There's no,
Like it's a way of
I've,
life if you do it.
I've
And
only given a dead fish to the woman who presents her hand weird, right? Like you'll get the a woman who comes up and does kind of the like
oh,
enchanté hand where you don't quite know what to do, and then you're just like stuck in rando zone. But this was man to man here.
so this was a listener who approached us and he said, "Hey, I have a pros in the wild for you." And we were like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "I've been meaning to reach out and deliver it to you, and I've never gotten the chance, so I'll just tell you since we're face to face." And he was apprehensive to tell us who the surfer was. And
Which
he
I didn't know
said,
why. I was like, who, like, I'm not going to reveal you. And
right,
so who
yeah.
cares who the surfer is?
So he told the limp fish handshake story, and then we're like, "Who was it? Who was it?" Then he finally said Dunphy. Um, but what I was gonna say is, I want to believe it's a one-off because I was thinking like, there's times where maybe I've met somebody and they walk away from the experience thinking I was a dick or a uh, I didn't look them in the eye or I gave them the cold shoulder or something like that, and it was probably because I was sidetracked or I was thinking of something else or I had some other priority and I blew them off or something. But it's not all the time. But the limp handshake, even if you don't like somebody and you're trying to send them a message, it's not you don't do it with a limp handshake. You know what I
No.
mean? Because it only reflects poorly on you. There's nothing that you would, there's no circumstance to where you would deploy the limp handshake just to deliver a message. The message only looks poor on you.
And to add more to this, like I shook this dude's hand right out of the gate too, right? He had a nice firm handshake. I reciprocated. And so it's not like the person was offering a limp fish to Michael Dunphy and Michael Dunphy didn't know how to respond. It wasn't the enchanté hand.
Right.
He was getting a firm handshake and responded with a limp fish. And uh, this dude was mostly worried, which he shouldn't have necessarily been, about Dunphy's professional career moving forward, thinking that if Dunphy's shaking hands with competitors, that they've already won once they shake his hand, right?
That was exactly, he restated that over and over again. Dunphy's going to lose just because he has a limp handshake.
Which I don't think Dunphy needs to worry about losing anymore. I don't know how much Dunphy is cruising the circuit anymore competitively. But the point is for Dunphy, Michael Dunphy, this is tough love right here. This is for you. Firm up your handshake.
Firm that bad boy up. Not too firm.
No, not aggressive, not alpha. You don't want to. When I shook Laird Hamilton's hand, when I went up to his Malibu compound, Laird didn't like crush my hand. It was just a solid, nice handshake. It was like even pressure, warm, good. That was it. Laird, by all rights, if we're talking about alpha-ing somebody up, Laird should have taken my hand, pulverized it into a million pieces, and then off we go.
Um, I'm going to end this segment with showering Dunphy with praise. But before I do that, um, I went to Costa Rica with him a long time ago, probably over 10 years ago. And he was driving like a bat out of hell in the rental car, full of people on dirt roads. Like, I mean, I literally thought we were going to crash multiple times. Thankfully, we did not, and we survived. He went back a couple of months after without me on his own trip separately, rolled his vehicle on that trip.
Great, manly. That's tough guy stuff. So
I was,
Dun
yeah,
I mean,
that
at this point, Dunphy's a pilot. He is a professional surfer of a high degree. He drives like a madman. All of these are like uber masculine traits. Just toughen up your handshake, Dunphy.
there you go. Hold other people's hands the way you hold that steering wheel.
Yep.
Um, the other thought that I wanted to share about the Dylan Graves thing, and this does apply to Dunphy as well, was one of Derek's lines. He said, although Dylan Graves is of middle age, he's no fat, shiny, liver colored man, but an example of who he can be if we don't fall into the trap of remaining in our velvet cages of couch, device, and home, period.
Mm.
And I was like, man, punch me right in my soft gut, Derek Riley. What I should
Derek
be
Riley
doing
will
right
do it.
now, what I should be doing right now, getting my pilot license, trying a little bit harder, advancing my stage in life instead of just enjoying the comforts that I've created for myself.
Dylan Graves is a handsome man. Have you ever seen Dylan Graves in person?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good look. I think I met Dylan Graves with uh, the filmmaker who makes most of that stuff. What's his name? He's an
Oh,
epic dude.
is it Dave?
Yes, Dave.
I forget
What's
Dave. What's
Dave's
Dave's
last
last
name?
name?
Dave is epic. Dave is such a
Dave
good,
Malcolm?
yeah, Dave Malcolm. Dave Malcolm is an epic. It's these personalities in the surf world that give it its spice, right? And so it was Dave and Dylan and saw them both in Cardiff and was Dylan is as handsome as you could be, and Dave is a legend.
Part of Dylan's handsomeness is his ruggedness, like
Yeah,
the chip tooth, unkempt, that sort of thing. Serves dudes well. Um, and also goes along with what I was just reading from Derek. So, anyways, good on you, boys. Keep it up. Keep getting shacked. And yeah, it'll keep you young too.
shake a hand, Dunphy.
I don't know what Dunphy's new film is called, but people keep an eye out and we will revisit it as soon as it is live for the public to witness.
I'm curious, besides the movie that can't be named, How many of those Florida Surf Film Festival films get actually released?
Not enough.
I know, right?
I would say like 40%.
Which I suppose, thankfully and wildly, the Florida Surf Film Festival runs quarterly, which
Yeah.
I think I keep forgetting to remember that if you're anywhere around there, you can go catch the sort of best curated next level surf film every 4 months. Is that a quarter? Yeah. Is there three, four divided 3 months? Every 3 months, even less. Uh, and it's totally worth going because you never know when you're going to see those again. I mean,
I
the
mean,
surf film that cannot be named was the second time it was screened since Cannes. Uh,
yeah.
and we got to see it.
I have spent less and less time watching movies on my screens, on my, at home, and yet really cherish more than ever going to the theater and watching those at the Florida Surf Film Festival. Like, will shirk my social obligations in the room to go and sit by myself and just watch the films because I really enjoy them that much.
To see it in that format on a big
Yeah.
screen with great sound, like presented the way they should be presented, not just on iPhone or computer, is something and
Yeah.
totally worth doing.
And that's where Dunphy's film, I think, was best appreciated. Like everybody's hooting and hollering. So, um, don't say gay.
Great.
Uh, I'm going to read this email from somebody, but I feel like we already discussed it. If we didn't discuss it, we just kind of referenced it at some point. Fruit boot.
Yeah.
Did we discuss it?
I don't think we probably brought it up, but haven't discussed it specifically, which I feel is time now.
Okay. So Chaz and David, I was walking along the boardwalk in Venice the other day and I noticed a couple of rollerbladers amongst the roving masses. The term fruit boot came to mind. I hadn't heard it in years, much less thought about it, but as a young skate rat, we always teased our booted brethren with that phrase. Please discuss. Also, in response to Chaz's Bob Marley challenge, I submit to you one Joel Tudor. Although not technically a shaper, he does have his own glassing company, and it's no secret that the man has a passion for all things reggae. Would make a lively debate. In any case, keep on working.
I would happily. And this for the my musical hatreds and debating, I took down Britt Merrick. Like, that was kind of easy to smash him and basically throw the last shovel on dirt, or last shovel of dirt onto the Grateful Dead. That was easy. But it doesn't have to be a shaper here, right? It doesn't have to be a shaper who likes music. Uh, if Joel would come on, I don't know that Joel would agree. I don't think Joel likes me, to be quite frank. And
That's
so
why it would make it better.
it would be great. If you can make this happen, I am all game for it. And I will send Joel Tudor to the same watery grave where Britt Merrick is currently buried. Uh,
Well, here's another one for you. DLS, I would love to hear Chaz debate Bob Marley and the history of reggae with Sal Masakela, or I'll correct, Salema Masakela. Cheers,
Even
JK.
better, if you can make this happen, I certainly cannot make this happen. And so, David Lee Scales, it is up to you because I think neither of those friends would agree to even like look me in the eye on the computer.
All right. In person would be way better. And then I'll work on those, and then I'll also reach out to Sam George and find out who his favorite musician is, and we could potentially have a third battle.
Oh man, all good. But back to fruit booting. So this is one of the ones I think it just sounds too good. Fruit boot is so funny that we cannot cancel it. Uh, and again, I think what we need to cancel is fruit or fruity being applied to gay people or the LGBT community, right? Like
Yeah.
fruity just needs to be back to something off. Like that's fruity. That's like not right. Like
If you would have,
they're not fruits.
yeah.
The bad, like silly stuff is fruity.
So 10 years ago, I would have thought it was time to cancel fruity, like referring to somebody as gay as fruity would have been cancelable. Now I don't think it's cancelable anymore. Now I think it's kind of acceptable and jovial.
The problem is though that when it comes to the fruit boot, rollerblades are, and when you're calling them fruit boots, and really and truly, rollerblades are gay. Just kidding. Just
Don't
kidding.
say gay.
Rollerblades are silly, right? The idea of taking ice skating's not silly. Uh, Rollerblading, taking that idea. Have you ever seen a rollerblader that you thought, you know what? You're doing it. You are living your best life and doing the right thing with your time, energy, and talent.
It is very bizarre and interesting to analyze that putting um, wheels in line has a certain association and connotation because it, it didn't when we were kids and rollerblades hit, it was not considered gay. You know, it was popular for about 18 months, let's say. There's a phenomenal film that I grew up cherishing called Airborne. Did you ever see that?
No. Is it about a fruit booter?
It is about a kid who moves from California, Southern California, I believe. He was a surfer. I forget the guy, Shane, I think was his name. And he was like the handsome kid from Southern California who moves to Chicago and can't surf anymore. And he's like standing on a surfboard in his bed trying to recreate it and stuff. That's how much he misses it. And I think it was he knew how to rollerblade in California. And so he was able to translate that into hockey skills in Chicago and like win over the school. All the school was making fun of him because he looked, he was more effeminate or whatever. The girls liked him. So all the guys and the jocks made fun of him. It's an early Seth Green and Jack Black who play some of the bullies in the film.
Whoa.
Like
Whoa. There's
earliest
a
Jack
deep
Black.
cut.
It really is. It's called Airborne. And
Love it.
like through his rollerblading, he like brings the town together basically and like the
Oh,
bullies.
He's the Kevin Bacon of rollerblading.
Yeah, exactly. And like all the girls are swooning and then there's like a big rollerblade race at the end down like Death Hill or something. Um it's an incredible film. Did you see Rad, the BMX
Of
movie from the
course.
80s?
Which
This is
and
that.
you remember who the star of Rad is, who I keep forgetting.
The female is Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, but you remember who the Rad dude was?
No.
Josh Brolin.
The
Oh
the
wait, I'm sorry. Rad
bicyclist?
was the bike one.
Yeah.
Gleaming the Cube was, wait, no. Rad
Christian
was
Slater. Christian Slater
Yeah,
was cleaning the
I
cube.
think, hold on here.
There's
Uh
no way Josh Brolin was the guy in Rad.
yes.
I mean, I haven't seen Rad since I was a kid, but I would just think that that detail would come up.
I think
1986.
hold on.
That's not Josh Brolin. Bill Allen is Crew Jones. Bill Allen
Ah.
is.
Well, who was stinking Josh Brolin then?
I
He was
don't
in one of
know.
those early ones.
I don't know, but it wasn't Rad.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at the whole cast right now.
Jo
Bill Allen. There's
Josh
a guy.
Brolin was
There's a guy named
Brolin.
Josh or Chad Hayes that looks like Josh Brolin in the film.
Hold on. Josh Brolin,
This is going to be the
Brolin.
worst pod.
Yep, sorry
Any,
everyone. Skateboarding movie. Hold on. I'm getting this. This is serious. Thrashing.
oh, I don't remember Thrashing.
Thrashing was epic. Thrashing is probably the best of them all, and it was Josh Brolin thrashing.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Um, so Sam George informed me that Josh Brolin was actually a really good surfer from a young age.
yeah. My
Like,
brother, high school girlfriend, friend, babysat Josh Brolin's kids up in Templeton. So I got some early Josh Brolin back then
oh, okay. Yeah, I
via.
mean, I knew he surfed, but I didn't, I thought it was just like he was raised near the beach, so he had a surfboard. I didn't know he was actually a decent surfer.
No, I think he surfs.
Yeah. Anyways, Airborne was epic. So there was a period of time where rollerblading was in vogue, But from the last 20 years, for some reason, it was just associate it. I don't know anybody straight or masculine or who just does it recreationally.
I mean, and so back to the fruit booting here. Fruit booting is too funny. Where I just think fruity should be disassociated with a negative slur on the LGBTQ community and just be things that are off because rollerblading is essential. Like, I think that there should be a fruit boot version of supping. Like, it feels like they're the same thing, right? Like, rollerblading, supping, what's on snow that's wrong? Like monoski or something. Like, there's versions of every one of these things that's just off and it's fruity.
What are those skis that came out for a period of time that were just the length of the boot?
Oh,
So you had,
exactly. That's what I mean. Ski skates or skate skis or whatever they're called. Yes, exactly that. Precisely that. Not monoskiing. I think monoskiing is actually super hard. But yes, it's that. There's a version of everything, I think, in every kind of at least extreme sport uh that is fruity. And that's what it should be referred to. This is a fruity version. No reference to LGBTQ. It's just fruity.
fruity just means slightly off. It has nothing to do with sexual orientation.
Zero. And so I think we keep Fruit Boot and we distance it from association with community.
Hmm. Okay.
Like those skate ski things are so fruity.
I I agree with everything you're saying, but
The
there is still um in my mind, in my perception, an association between rollerblading and the gay community, for
I
better
mean,
or worse.
I feel that's Venice Beach's problem, to be quite frank. I feel that Venice Beach really elevated the idea of a flamboyant rollerblader.
Well, the gay community embraced it so hard.
Did they though? How many
Yeah, they
how many
did.
gay people do you know that rollerblade
The only ones I've seen rollerblading were
are gay?
flamboyantly gay. And so I feel like they branded it hard so much so that even if a hetero male wanted to, he doesn't have enough gumption to really like go for it.
Uh, okay. I mean, I see you, but I'm still going to just say we need to distance fruity from gay and
Okay.
then apply it to things that are weird derivations of their. The problem is roller skating in general. Let's be honest, because if you see somebody on a four-wheeled skate, it's even fruitier at this point.
See, I don't think so. I think roller skating still has a nostalgic quality that people embrace.
You would see a dude, you're telling me right now, you go down to Virginia Beach's boardwalk and you see a dude cruising by roller skating. You don't think something's a little off there, and not in terms of his sexuality, in terms of what he has chosen to do.
It is very weird. If I saw somebody out in the wild roller skating, yes, I would think that.
A man,
But
especially, like, oh,
a man especially.
yeah,
But if I go to a roller rink for a kid's party and there's adult males roller skating, that's all fine. If one of them
no,
is rollerblading,
it's not all fun. You see a guy, it's all fine if you see a guy fully stumbling on his roller skates just because his kid wanted that for a party. You see a guy who's good at it, who's going backwards, who's doing the stuff, going like the moves, right? Like getting real low and sticking one leg down low and all of that. Somebody who's a man, let's be quite honest and frank, a man good at roller skating, you think something's off here.
I mean, again, in that environment, it's a free pass because it's the kids' party and all that sort of stuff. Wherever they learned how to do it, I don't know. Maybe it was a vestige of their youth and they were able to tap into it. So he gets a free pass for me. But if he strapped on roller blades, I would definitely be wondering what was up with that. I would definitely have an opinion.
Okay.
Um,
Can I do a quick pause? So sorry.
yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. Kid needs.
All right, we're back. Coming off of the Don't Say Gay or staying in it, actually, I've got this comment from a listener.
Yeah, this one's for the grit. This is Sean from San Marcos. going back in. First off, wanted to start off. I don't know, Chaz, if you remember some random dude in a Highlander yelling out the window accidentally at you. Yeah, that was me. I was on my way to go take some stuff to the dreaded Asaibol, as it is, as it were, um, to my wife. But anyways, I'm calling. I was just listening to last week's episode in reference to you guys' Don't Say Gay. And it's just something that occurs to me as a consideration as to whether or not to remove something. If something is moderately to mildly to even kind of quite a bit offensive, but it's used in a joking manner in order to kind of take the piss out of each other, I don't know that we can don't say gay it. Reason being is if we keep losing the ability to hack on each other and take the piss out of each other in a playful manner, even using somewhat offensive methodologies or terminology, I think that's part of what's kind of going wrong with society. Nobody can take a joke. Nobody can take the piss out of each other. That, oh, you can't say that. I don't know. There's obviously a limit to it, but I think that should be factored into whether or not something should be pulled from the lexicon or not. Anyways, work.
Do you remember him?
Yes. Uh, but also agree that obviously, right? Like in these times, it's just like all difficult. I'm just going to say when you're taking the piss out of your friends, you can't bully. Once it becomes bullying, it's no longer everybody has to be in on the joke, right? And I feel at this point in particular, and so much obviously with the don't say gay stuff, being its name is don't say gay, is about the LGBT community. So what if they're in on the joke? Yes, like you've got to be in on the joke with each other. Both of you have to be same team in order to take the piss, right? Like you and I could go at you and you could go at me all day, every day because it's same team. Uh, if somebody's not in on the joke and just getting punched and they're like, wait a second, I don't think this is fun. This hurts. And especially now with the LGBT community, like time to be sensitive.
Well, I think that being sensitive to other people's plight and making fun of people are not mutually exclusive. I think that both can coexist. And in fact, making fun can get, uh, if you're more sensitive and thoughtful, you can also be more precise and clever with the making fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I personally feel a sensitivity towards others who are not like me that I did not feel when I was in high school. When I was in high school, it was free reign. You can make fun of everybody and or I would make fun of, I don't know, random people, not consider their feelings. Now, I have a lot more sensitivity and sympathy towards other people's plights than I ever did before, but I haven't lost my desire or my desire to connect with fellow man in a joking manner. So I think that both things can exist, but further, by me making fun of, that's actually the ultimate sign of we're now bros. You know, like if you're a stranger, I don't feel comfortable making fun of you. But if I have a comfort with you, then we start ribbing each other in that way. And the more that I know you and the more that I'm sensitive towards what your things are, then kind of the more precise and clever I could be with how I'm making fun.
That's, I mean, I 100% agree with you. And so to Josh's point, uh, that's the real issue. Have at everyone, but while you're having at them, get to know them, right? Like learn, become friends with, understand. Because that's the more important. The fun making is or should be a product of a close relationship. And so if you want to make fun, get to know people.
Completely. Yeah. Get to know them, be sensitive. And also, like, if somebody's gay and you're just making fun of them being gay, if you have a close friend who is gay, and that's the joke that you're just going to make a joke about them being gay, it's kind of not a funny joke at that point. You know, it's too obvious. So there you would find something that you could make fun of in that relationship if you actually are close to them. So don't take the cheap joke, don't take the easy joke, be sensitive towards their sensibility, but absolutely still joke.
And also keeping fruit booting. Sorry about it. Too good.
Okay. Well, I forgot to play it at the beginning, but I'm going to play it now at the end. And that is Don't Say Gay. I forget to play our theme song every time, but here it is.
We're just being friendly, we're just having fun. But if we say the wrong things, we'll hurt everyone. So don't say gay.
There you go.
It's a great song.
Thanks, James in New Zealand. I think that was James in New Zealand. Pussyfooting's been on the docket for weeks. We're gonna have to save that for next week because we
Good.
already went too long with Don't Say Gay. Let's go to commercial break and we will be back with Barrel or Not. All right, welcome back, Chess.
How does the East Coast feel this time around? Are you enjoying it just as much as last time around?
Yes, I would say short answer, yes, I am. I was thinking further about the commonality between
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle, Jacksonville, and now VB. It feels these hotels on the beach. I feel like I'm in a cruise ship.
Yeah.
They're narrow, they're tall, the decor. It's like you're looking right out at the ocean over a railing. You kind of feel like you're swaying a little bit. It really is bizarre. They all have those.
So I'm confused at this point in my surf life where I don't know if I've been a frog boiled in water in California surf culture so much that I just take it for granted. I feel that it's kind of disconnected. You know, it's fine. It's great, but nobody cares that much. Da, 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 da. Go to the East Coast last week and it felt like a community, right? Like the people who come out are frothy and the Cam Richardses and the Kelly Richardses and the Justin Quintals and the Ricky Carrolls and the whole it feels way more community on the East Coast than it does on the West Coast. Am I wrong? Am I just is it just because I'm living on the West Coast?
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, if doesn't it feel different on the East Coast?
Yeah, it's because
Their waves suck?
it's yeah, I think there's something to do with they're a smaller culture, like they're a smaller subculture in a in this kind of sprawling landscape. So they find one another, and then the natural resource is so finite and
Fickle?
yeah, fickle and small in quantity that it's like there's camaraderie in that somehow.
I mean, I love it.
It
I mean,
in
every time
Southern,
I'm out East Coast, I love it more and more and more with the surf community out here, I suppose it's just ubiquitous here. It's California, you surf, right? There, it's not. And so it still feels rebellious or it's something. There's some extra frisson out there that I really, really love.
that's I think kind of what it is, the ubiquitousness in California. You can just be a casual surfer and it just comes easy, you know? And so it doesn't require as much work.
And you also don't have to partake in the community. I mean, there's so many people I
Yeah.
go, and maybe this is the East Coast too, but I go, went surfing a day. It was not great waves, but the water is so warm and it just feels so good in the water. Uh, Watching the people come in and out, right? Like I wonder how many of them are engaged in any way in anything about surf other than taking their wave storm out and riding a wave. They know nothing about the culture, nothing about the history, nothing about any part of it. Where I feel East Coast when I'm there, and again, I'm not surfing a ton there, so maybe it's the same, but whoever comes out feels like, okay, it's a community.
So then think about if you lived somewhere that had equally fickle waves, but way colder water. Like
Yeah.
the surfers in Lake Michigan
Yeah.
or Norway or, wherever, like Iceland or something like that. Like that, those guys have to be super tight, hardcore community.
I mean, that's where we should take the live podcast tour, to be honest, is just exploring the most hardcore or just different surf communities. I feel that Ashton and whatnot sort of tried to do a version of that with no contest, but I also feel that it was low hanging fruit. Everywhere he went was mostly low hanging fruit, right? It wasn't like he wasn't going to crazy towns.
Did Has he ever explicitly stated a love for Anthony Bourdain?
I mean, obviously, for sure, he not to me. We don't talk, surprisingly, but like the no reservation, no contest. But that's what Stab does on all of the stuff is just do a one-to-one ripoff, knowing that surfers are not that tuned into pop culture. So you see a good pop culture idea and you can apply it directly to surfing. So no contest obviously is a not even kind of hidden subtle homage to no reservation. It is a one-to-one rip.
I mean, it was always obvious to me that that's what it was. Um, and then I started rewatching No Reservation in recent months and Parts Unknown, other Anthony Bourdain show, and it was like, oh my God. Like Ashton like modeled the script that way, he modeled his voice that way, like the structure of the show. Let's start with some narration over this. Like it was exactly copy and pasted.
I am so happy to be quite honest with you right now that I had Scott Hewlett as an early friend where I think my first Surfer's Journal piece I did, I like stuck on what was Hunter Thompson's it was like res something loquat or something. Hunter Thompson would throw on a Latin phrase to the end of his stuff. And so I think I threw it on to the end of my first Surfer's Journal story, or I know I did. And Scott Hewlett's like, yeah, you can't do this. Like this is and so I was like, oh, great. Took it off and so thankful in retrospect. I feel that Ashton Goggins never had a Scott Hewlett to say, hey, look at when you directly rip something off that's very well known, you just can't. It looks, anyone who knows will be like a little turned off by it.
Well, beyond that, it's like you may find traction in this adjacent industry and have a little career there, but you will never be your own man. You'll
Yeah.
never forge your own path. You will never create your own art.
I mean, I feel even no contest, his or the art for it, like the writing of no contest is exactly the same as no reservation.
Well,
Cringy. Ashton,
anyways, yeah.
Ashton Goggins, you continue to cringe.
Anyways, three barrel or Nas this week, all related to airplane travel.
Sweet. I just flew on two.
Yeah, I just flew today, so I will have an opinion on the second one. The first one, it kind of revisits an old topic that OG listeners might remember, and it is worth revisiting.
For the grit, probably a tool to live by, maybe a barrel or not, but flying in shorts. I always have worn jeans flying, which admittedly aren't the most comfortable, but it is what it is. I just like to wear jeans to, cover up my legs. I think planes are dirty and airports are dirty. I love them. I love traveling, but I always thought, cover myself up. It just feels a bit safer in that sense. And I would get somewhere, and I would get to Central America, and I'd be hot as balls, and then change into shorts, either right there or in the car once I get there, or maybe just stay in jeans and sweat it out. It's gross and sucks, but whatever. But then one time I went to Nicaragua recently, and I wore shorts, and it was amazing. But I felt more exposed and more exposed to germs and stuff. So, what do you guys think on flying in shorts? Now, for shoes, I don't condone flying in sandals. Just don't do it. I don't think it's ever a good idea. You wear sneakers. But curious what you have to think on shorts.
All right. So this, just to remind listeners, years and years and years ago, we discussed it's undignified to go out in public in shorts, and that became a very polarizing opinion. Some people agreed, other people said that's absurd. I wear shorts all the time.
So I am still holding to, again, I came up in the Middle East. My formative years were spent in Egypt and Lebanon and Yemen, et cetera, et cetera. While I did wear shorts out there sometimes, only little boys wear shorts there. It is an undignified thing to do. You do not, as a man, you do not wear shorts. I've held to that ever since. Now, that is kind of softened as I've gotten older. I still am not a big shorts guy. I rarely, if ever, wear shorts. I don't think I ever wear shorts, to be quite frank. But I understand the guy who's out wearing shorts. But going to the airport as surfers, we have the North Star. What is the North Star? The North Star is Endless Summer. And how good did sticking Robert August and what's his
Mike
name?
Henson.
Mike Hinson look when they went to the airport in their suits? Am I
It's a
wrong?
great, I mean, can't argue with it.
You elevate your entire how you go to the airport, how you fly on the airplane is how you are going to be. Elevate that. Those guys looked world conquering in their suits. So I will say the best thing to fly in is a suit. A suit is typically, unless you got a thick wool suit, a suit is typically the right exact density for the airplane and for the airport. The airplane and airport are always crazily air conditioned, et cetera, et cetera. You got pocket for passport. You have pocket for money. You have pocket for wallet. You have pocket for boarding passes. The suit is the optimal way to fly, I will say. Like, it is worth getting in a suit to fly. A, optimal. B, best temperature. C, you're going to elevate no matter where you're going. You are flying in a suit somewhere. It elevates that trip automatically. It is the best way to fly. Outside of that, pants, shorts, never on an airplane, no barrel.
I would like to find the suit that suits me as well as what you're talking about. I don't know that I have, but I have found a couple of sports coats, blazers, jackets that do elevate the look that are more comfortable than a sweatshirt.
Absolutely. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not like you're not suffering for fashion. You
No.
are perfectly temperate. A suit on a plane, you're absolutely perfectly temperate the entire time. You have pockets for everything. You look good. You get more respect. Every part of it is better. You wear stinking shorts on a plane, you're going to get treated like an 8-year-old kid because that's what you deserve to be treated like because that's how you look.
So I wore shorts on the plane today, and I got to admit, I was sitting next to an adult woman, um, and I felt like I was revealing too much. I
You,
was like, you sit down and then they ride up. And then I try to cross my legs, and I realize when I cross my legs, they ride up even more. And I'm like, I'm just showing too much skin to this woman next to me right now.
you're
And
a you're a
she,
goofy child.
yeah, it's just unbecoming. And the upper legs, the hair is like probably too hairy. Like she doesn't want to see
All of
this.
it.
I don't want to
None of
see
it's
this.
good. None of it's good.
It was a little bit too cold too. Like I was like, I made a bad decision.
And this is a heartfelt recommendation to all dear male listeners, dignify your airport experience. Like,
Yeah.
and a suit, again, you're not going to be uncomfortable. Get a cheap suit. I don't care. You can probably get a suit from crap fast fashion H&M or Zara or something for 99 bucks and you will feel so much better flying. You'll be more comfortable, you'll feel better, and you'll be dignified. No shorts.
Well, moving on. I've softened on my short stance in since we last had that conversation, and I find myself wearing shorts outdoors, which I didn't in the past, strictly a reflection of the heat or whatever, just trying to be comfortable. But I still feel uncomfortable in them. I would still prefer to wear to wear pants.
Again, I get it if you're in a crazy humid place and whatnot, right? Like I will wear shorts in Cabo, Mexico or whatever. But if you're flying, you're not in a humid place. You're in
Yeah.
a temperature controlled, air conditioned place from get to get, right? And so, of course, towel change and shorts if comfort is that much of an issue once you land in your hot, humid place. But
That was the other thing that I was going to tuck. I forgot to write it down, but I have like when I flew to El Salvador, I wore pants and then I got to the airport and I put shorts in my backpack, knowing when I get to the airport, I'm going to switch into shorts. Um, then you run into the problem where I go into the bathroom. I'm in the men's stall in a bathroom in an airport, which is the filthiest bathrooms in the world are the ones in the airport. And so now I'm doing this thing where I'm like trying to stand on my shoes and pull off my pants without letting my pants touch the ground and also without putting the bottom of my foot on the ground. It's a real balancing act. Like
I
I'm a, pro at this point at towel changing. It is serves you well when you're in that scenario.
but just tough it out. Also, get to the hotel so your legs are going to
It
be
was a
sweaty.
3 hour drive.
So your legs are going to be sweaty for 3 hours. Are you Austin? Are you a kid who needs a snack right away? Or are you a man who can sit in his own sweat for 3 hours?
Well, I would throw that back at you. Are you somebody who can't handle the germs from the bathroom? What's the lesser of two evils here? The germs from the bathroom or sweating in the car?
Dignity, dignity to the end.
All right. Well, moving on. Two air two airplane observations coming from Eric in Neptune, which I think is Florida. He says, "Hey guys, I've been flying home from Mexico today, and I have a few observations that have me thinking. First, it seems no one converses on an airplane anymore. I miss that. Sure, sometimes you get seated next to somebody you didn't click with, but often you make a new friend with that on that flight. Sometimes you even have a cocktail with them, barrel or not, talking to your seatmate on a plane. Also, I've noticed folks occupying the window seats these days close the window for the whole flight. That bothers me. I don't like riding in a windowless tube. Daylight is good, and also why choose a window seat only to close it and not enjoy the view? Makes no sense to me. Barrel or not, shutting the window for the entire flight when you're occupying the window seat. Keep work true. Yours truly, Eric and Neptune.
Eric and Neptune, I'm sure I would love you in person. I would enjoy hanging out with you. I do not ever want to take a flight with you. A, I don't want to talk to somebody on a flight. I flat out don't. Whoever I'm meeting on the flight, and I met a lot of people on flights, don't keep up with any of them, don't remember any of them. It was just time spent like kind of jibber jabbering when I would have well rather been in my quiet place. B, I would agree with you on the window or shade up in the day before screens on the airplane. Uh, and or if there's no screen on the airplane, keep that thing up, obviously. If there's a screen on the seat in front of you, everyone close that thing. You're in an artificial environment to begin with. That's not real daylight out there. That is like bizarre daylight coming into your weird, it's not fresh air. Like it's just light. And so close that thing if people are watching TV. So no barrel chatting. I am so happy when I got like it's a weirdly satisfying. I just flew home from Florida. It's or flew there and home. It's 4.5 there, 4 or 5-ish back. And then I was stuck in the tarmac for an extra hour on top of that when landing in San Diego. Uh, I was so happy to only say 3 words to the people next to me in those times. That is like a respite. Don't wreck somebody else's respite.
I like the utopia that Eric is living in,
It's great.
where it's like, I bet you Robert August and Mike Hinson had long, meaningful conversations with strangers on those airplanes in the endless summer. You know what I mean? They're dressed in their
They,
suits,
they they looked too good to not
having a
engage
highball.
them.
Yeah, smoking a cigarette on the plane
Yeah.
back then. Um, but that's not the world we live in anymore.
No.
And I'll be honest, I thought that airplanes were like um the least civil place in society. And they were up until 4 or 5 years ago. But in the last couple of years that I've been flying, I feel like it's really made a turnabout where people now don't crowd the aisle as soon as the plane lands. They wait their turn, they let people go. Like there's all these little dignities that I feel like have been restored somehow with air travel.
I'm going to
And
say, though, I'm going to cut you off right here. It's that you have gotten older and are not booking yourself on Spirit Airlines or crap bag airlines going to crap bag places. Like, I guarantee the Spirit flight going to Las Vegas tomorrow is a junk show of indignity.
for sure,
Like when
I I was
you
never
booked
flying Spirit in the first place.
you,
So
but
that also happened on Delta previously.
you booked and that's kind of true, but I think all of those people have got shooken down to the spirits and whatnot. You booked my airfare out to Florida, and I thank you because you didn't book me crap, right? Like you you didn't obviously not getting booked into first or business. Who needs to fly? There's no such thing as business on domestic flights, but who needs to fly first on a domestic flight? But you gave me a dignified seat, right? It was a aisle mid-tier seat. You didn't go like no frills, cheap crap. Where as an adult, that's what you book for yourself. That's what you book for your friends. That's where dignity comes in.
Did you have an exit row on one of the flights?
I sure did. The flight going out,
Uh,
and I was like, stinking David Lee Scales dignified me. He gave me dignity on my flight
so,
out.
so I think what happened there was the only other options were like middle seats. And
But you,
I was like, You can't go middle seat. You got to go
see,
at, so we got
but
to go exit."
that's exactly it, though. You gave
Yeah.
me dignity,
Yeah.
and I felt that dignity. I felt happy with that dignity. And then I feel I performed better because of the dignity that you showed to me.
Well, I will say in regard to talking to people, there's not a human on the planet that I want to have a conversation with once I'm on that plane. Like, I really cherish that alone time. This is like one space in my life where I just get this time to myself. Nobody's texting me. I actually, unfortunately, now I do have Wi-Fi on the plane usually, but I love not having it. And you could just maybe watch a movie completely uninterrupted. So definitely don't talk to me on the plane. And the daylight thing, don't need the daylight either. I'm okay going into this fugue state while I'm in this place
It's
and
all
just
fake
watching
anyway.
movies. Yeah.
It is all fake anyway. And so why does there need to be, if it was, you could open your window and get fresh air on the plane. If you could unroll the thing, get a little breeze, I'd be like, sweet, take that all day, every day. It's not that. It's all fake.
No. Yeah.
And legitimately, if Brad Pitt was sitting next to me on the airplane, I would hope that Brad Pitt would not open his mouth and talk to me because I am not opening my mouth and talking to him, right? Like it's not just like you might get a rando and get stuck into grandma conversation or whatever. I don't want to talk to anyone like on that flight. It is a moment of peace.
Sorry, Eric and Neptune.
You
I
really blew
love your
it.
utopia, but that's not the world we're living in. Um, in regard to rushing the aisle, I'm really, I want to just like PSA applaud my fellow man because that doesn't happen that much anymore. Like almost all the flights I've been on in recent years, the plane lands, seatbelts unbuckle, and it unloads orderly from the front, one row at a time. There was like two people today who rushed from the back of the plane up front, and I was like, maybe they just have a flight, a connection that they need to catch or something like that.
Got a
But by and
VB.
large, people don't do it anymore.
No, and it's funny because so already said, like flight landed in San Diego from Florida. And there was like Marine Layer or something where they had to turn the airport around. It was a disaster where it was a literal hour plus on the tarmac. So you land, you're sitting there. Uh, and for some, I think I was so exhausted that I didn't care. Like I didn't have a connection. And so I was just sitting there. Uh, and then finally got to the gate, doors open, and I'm like, I'm still sitting here. I don't care. Like I'll get up when it's time to go. Usually I'm a get upper, and then it feels interminable the amount of time that how slow people are getting off. It's like not paying attention, not caring. And I've always been annoyed with this. I was 3/4 back. So not back, but not front. Set my stopwatch on my phone and just thought, I wonder how long this is going to take, because this always annoys me so bad because I'm standing up watching how slow everybody's moving. I'm going to sit, and I thought, okay, I bet this is going to take 20 minutes to get off. 8 minutes. 8 minutes, because I wasn't paying attention. I mean, that's probably what it is every time, but that 8 minutes feels like 30 if you're up in the aisle eyeballing everybody.
Well, the other thing is, it blows my mind how impractical people are in that environment. Like when it comes to loading by zone, for example, everybody, the gate lice, go
Yeah.
and stand and hover around the line just so they can get on the plane earlier. The plane is not leaving any earlier. The plane leaves on time, whether you load early or not. So, what is the hurry to get on the plane?
I'm going to blame part of this on the airline themselves of coming every time I've flown now for the last few years. They will come on and say limited room. So they've been trained to do this limited room. And so I think that's what the gate lice are fearing, is my bag's not going to get on. Every time I've gone on, never has there been a stress with finding room for the bag.
Yes.
And so this is an airline created problem of trying
No,
to
it
get
isn't.
people to gate check bags, which doesn't need to happen. I mean,
I hear you.
I think it's a problem of
I
people packing more, but it's also the airline screwing them by having all these fees.
So I hear what you're saying, but no, the gate lice existed prior to that, and they will exist after that. And it's no longer a problem, and they still exist. They just love crowding to get in line first, to get on the plane first. My point is, the plane isn't leaving any sooner. And then when it comes to deboarding the plane, a lot of people have to go to the baggage claim. The baggage claim isn't going to be ready by the time you get there. Like you
No,
can get off the plane first, you still have to go wait at baggage claim as long as the last person who got off the plane. So like this fake sense of urgency is just in people's DNA for some reason. They like standing in lines and they like being first.
it's
That's
absurd.
it.
I mean, it really is true. There's was it Japan? I mean, Japanese, like I would see lines, huge lines, and I'd be like, what are these? I have zero idea. And then watch people get into that line and thinking, I don't even know if anyone knows why they're in this line right now. They're just hardwired to enjoy standing in line.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. Well, we did enough on that, but good show. We'll do bonus show on Monday along with Noble Rot.
Sweet.
We'll
Look forward to
recap.
it.
We'll recap Point Break Festival and reggae and Virginia Beach.
Who are you looking forward to seeing, David Lee Scales? Which acts at the Point Break Festival?
Looking forward to connecting with podcast listeners.
Okay, great. Are you getting on stage and announcing any bands?
I offered if they want my MC skills, they could have them, and they have not taken me up on that. But I got to go to dinner with the CEO of the organization tonight, and we'll see if they want to implement me for any of those roles.
What are you eating?
Ultimately I'm friends with these guys who are putting this together and organizing it, and definitely want to help them build it out and tap into the surf community and all that sort of stuff. So we'll figure out what that looks like, and if they need my involvement, I will
Are
definitely
you going
help.
to wear any red, green, and yellow tie-dye today?
No. Um, I might get contact high considering how close my hotel room is to this entire event if I just open my windows. To give you an idea, though, of Virginia Beach, can you see the stain on his bedspread?
Amazing. That's like a big old dirty stain.
I mean, is that rust? Did somebody put like a rusty car part on
I'm
his
gonna say that's a
bedspread?
belt. I'm gonna say that's a rusty belt buckle. That is a cowboy who fell down face first
It's
after
heavy in
being doused.
it's heavy in iron, whether it's rust or blood. I'm not sure, but I'm not sleeping on that bed tonight. I will go sleep on the other bed. So
Myrtle Beach.
welcome to Virginia Beach. Also, as we're recording, jet skis zipping back and forth out there in the ocean. Straight up Kenny Powers activities.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
All right, man. Thanks. I will see you on Monday.
Yep.
Keep work.